Hello, teammates. This is Sean J. McCaw once again for the fourth quarter, where we try to educate, inform, and hopefully entertain those of you that are mildly fascinated with European basketball. Hopefully, the one or other of you can learn something from these live events that will help you, and maybe something that you didn't know. Learn something that you didn't know. Maybe you can pass this information on to anyone else that may be considering a professional basketball career over here in Europe. And yeah, if not, if it just entertained you, that's also pretty good for me. My guest for tonight is a true baller, a guy that I've known for about 18 years, I guess. I know him personally. Yeah, it's about 18 years. I think the 2002, 2003 season when I played in Oldenburg. But we'll get to that in a second. I've got a lot of respect for what he's done on the court and now as well off the court. He's not really retired. I still see him playing quite a bit these days, but his profession now is he is the head coach at the Natural Basketball Academy in Hamburg, and what he does there is prepare youth players, get them working out, and get them trying to become that was in German, maybe professional athletes one day. So he helps them out with training and everything that comes with that. So yeah, Levi has been in Germany for quite a while, but he's also played as a professional in Luxembourg, Ireland, Romania, and also Germany as well. And I know he still burns for the orange leather. So I love it when a person has a lot of passion for what they do. I asked Levi to come on today for chapter 4 in my book. This one. Chapter 4, Standard European Contracts, Part 1, which focuses on common stipulations that are in athletes or basketball players' contracts with European teams. And that's such a important topic that I broke it down into 2 chapters. So today will be Part 1, and next week will be Part 2. And so we'll get started in a minute. Let's get Levi into the conversation. I hope Levi has got his light situation figured out. Where is he at? Levi, you didn't request to join. Let me see if I can do it from here. Go live. Going. There's my dog.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me fix my camera. So
Hope the lighting is a little bit better, yeah?
Yeah, that's better. That's good. Don't worry. So we are all set. So, my man, 50 grand. How you
Yes,
doing?
sir. Hi, excited to be on your show.
Thanks.
Happy to be alive.
I appreciate you coming on. I know you were all day in the gym or in a school
Yeah.
or somewhere, so I appreciate you taking the time out to inform the viewers on what's going on with these European contracts. Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, what you're doing right now. I mean, I talked a little bit about it, but let them know what you're doing right now.
Mainly I spend most of my time just helping, kids, boys and girls develop their talent, also to gain confidence, develop their personality while they're on the court.
That's very important.
Yeah, really important. I understand what that means personally. Like you told them, I'm working. We founded a basketball academy. It's called the Natural Basketball Academy in Hamburg, and we have talent groups in about 4 to 5 different parts of the city, where once in a week, kids they get regular technical training. So we're working on their shot, we're working on their footwork, everything that a professional needs to, basically maintain a certain level of play. In addition to doing that, we also have school courses, camps, and clinics. And I also am a coach in the club.
What club is it?
Holstein Hoppers. I think this will be my last club in Germany because I didn't moved around and had a nice experience in the club. But, I like this club and the way they work together. They really are enthusiastic about, having the kids play.
Good. What I really respect is that you also work with the mental side of what these
young kids are going to go through as they develop into hopefully professionals, or even if they're not professionals. And I know I was on your show one time as well, where I talked to a couple of your prospects, and I really appreciate the time to talk to those kids and let them know that it's not as easy as they think. And I know you do a lot of that mental side of the game with them, and that's what I really appreciate about you as well, because it's not just the X's and O's, but also what's in between these two ears. So that's, so I appreciate that a lot. So let's get started, Levi.
Mm-hmm.
So the rules are,
Yes.
you got 10 minutes,
Uh-huh.
and in those 10 minutes, I'll ask you questions. You can answer how you want, as much time as you want. Don't feel stressed, but just keep in mind that we do only have 10 minutes for this part.
Okay.
After the initial 10 minutes, then we'll go into overtime with rapid fire questions that I'll ask you, nothing crazy. And then that'll be pretty much it. So
Okay.
that's about it. I got to set the clock.
Cool.
I
Sounds
got
fun.
your name on the clock there.
Wow.
So ready to get it rolling.
Yes, sir. I usually do good in these pressure situations, so let's see.
You're a pressure dude, man. Don't worry. We'll get it going. So let's start the clock, and we're off.
Yes.
So when you first came out of college,
Mm-hmm.
did you have more than one contract offer when you came overseas?
No,
You had one.
I didn't have any. I had agents, but not like concrete contract offers from clubs.
So I know you were a little bit with Courtside, who at the time was a pretty big player agency. How did that work out?
Yeah. So so we won the conference championship at Albany. So we had a lot of light shed on us, and at that time, so a lot of agents were really active. Courtside was a very big agency, and a lot of kids from my conference was there, but I could not get in contact with them. I didn't get any, base information to prepare me, for how the process would be. So I kind of got a little anxious because the agent wasn't really communicating with me. I got in contact with that agent through my coach. He's actually, I think now he's with the Washington Wizards. But first he was with the Bobcats. And basically my coach got me in contact with them, and that's how it happened. So I guess maybe they didn't feel like they had to give me so much attention.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably because you were maybe a smaller fish, and they had a whole lot of big fish at that time. But so how did you get your first gig overseas? So where was it?
I basically reached out to another agent here that was actually here in Hamburg. And no, actually, she was actually based out of another part of Germany, but it was for the Itzehoe Eagles, basically. And she told me that she would just take a percentage straight from the team, and I didn't have to sign a contract. So I was all with that. I wanted to get out as fast as possible because I just wanted to play. After my situation with the school, my coach and most of our players, we didn't have such a great understanding at that time. I didn't really understand what he was trying to do. So I was just trying to get out anywhere to play. And that was the next best thing.
So when you reached out to this woman that helped you out, did she inform you, or did you feel like you were properly informed as far as the contract goes, like the contract stipulations of a contract, that they take deductions out, that they do things for health insurance, take deductions for health insurance or unemployment services and things like that? Had you been or did you feel like you were informed on those points?
Well, I wouldn't go so deep as to say for unemployment how Germany is. Like, I didn't really know about the whole system as that deep until I came back to coach. But everything was done professionally. I mean, the contact that she had with me, she told me that I would get the insurance properly because in Germany it's like this, and I had no clue. So I was like, oh, okay. She told me I would get a car, and we had a car. She told me I would have my own room. She told me my salary. Everything she said actually came into fruition. So, I was really grateful for that because, you can meet an agent and they tell you they're going to do this, do that. they do maybe 5 out of the 7 things they said, plus they take more money on top. So, you know, my situation, I was really grateful for that because everything she said actually came into play. I got my insurance, I got my car, had my salary, I had the place to stay. Everything was cool.
So early in your career, we're talking not just your first year, but also as you moved on. Was that an issue for you, like to be concerned about such things in your contract, these contract stipulations? Or did it actually, was it only like the money? Okay, I'm going to go wherever offers me the most money. Or was it actually reading through those stipulations and saying, okay, well, I'm not really feeling this or that?
I would say, well, so when I first came out, it was more about making as much money and having an experience, you know, to travel the world and play in places. I wanted to get to a league that I knew would help me get to the next level, you know. So being in Germany was a great place. But what I didn't know was that being in Germany, everyone moves up in Germany.
Right.
So when I was in Germany at that time, Regionalliga was third league. There wasn't Pro A, Pro B. There was first, second, and then first Regio, you know. So we were in the third league at that time, if I'm not mistaken. And I had offers from the second league. Two, actually, I think Coach Bradley was one of them, and another coach whose name I forget. But I had no idea that it would have been better for me to stay here. So instead of me playing second league in Germany, I left and went to Luxembourg. You know, I think this is where having an agent that has more of a settled base is important, because then they would say, "Whoa, wait, Levi." Jumping out to Luxembourg right now is probably not the best thing to do, because in Germany they actually recruit in the country. They actually.
So was it for you a thing of money? Like, okay, well, I made such and such much money here in Itzehoe my first year. I'm going to move somewhere else that offers me more money. Was it more of an issue with money for you?
Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. I mean, I'm coming from Harlem. You know, I didn't have a house or nothing like this, so I'm trying to get as much as I can to do the most that I can. But I wasn't really greedy. It wasn't like, oh, give me the most. But it was like, hey, I have another contract for more, you know, and I'm the kind of person that likes to try some things. So it's like, hey, Luxembourg, that sounds cool, you know.
Were there differences in your contract from Germany as opposed to the one in Luxembourg, or were they pretty much not the money part, just the stipulations that were in the contract, were they pretty much the same?
Well, yeah, when I got to Luxembourg, everything was done properly. Actually, Griffith was my coach. I think you might actually, Johnny Griffin, you know. So actually everything was done properly. Everything was done professionally, you know. I didn't end up playing a whole season there. That's the thing. I went there and I played for about 2 weeks to a month, did a great job. I averaged about, I don't know, 30 points and 12 to 15 rebounds, and then they told me I was too short.
Figured that out pretty late, huh?
Yeah, so basically, but other than that, they did everything properly. I had a car, I had a place to stay.
The contract stuff was fulfilled, and you didn't have any problems.
Yeah,
When you were first coming over, had you heard that myth that I hear quite often from American players, that the money that you make over here is tax-free?
No, I mean, I pay attention. So I had the first 2 years that I came out, like the first year that we won our conference championship, there was a player the year before named Taylor Coppenrath that came out from Vermont, and he played in Greece. So I heard about what he went through. They took like 40 G's from him. So if they could take 40 G's from him, they'll take from anybody. It don't matter. They'll, you know, so basically I heard about what happened to him, but I also knew you still have to pay taxes. I just didn't know exactly how it worked.
Exactly, right. So that's the thing, is that a lot of players don't realize that their money is still, Uncle Sam still wants his money, basically. The money that you make over here, the clubs take care of that, your taxes, as opposed to here. But when you take that money back home, Uncle Sam still wants his piece. Did you ever experience in your professional career not getting paid on time, or not getting paid at all?
So, man, the stories, but I'm not going to go to too many stories, but I'll give you one or two. There was a situation where my first year in Romania, one of the pictures that you actually use in Mureș, I mean, it was really professional. We had thousands of people, coming to watch us play. Money was on time. They wanted to get rid of the coach, and they wanted to get rid of some players, but the best point guard got injured, and the next player to get rid of before they get rid of everybody was me. But I was getting paid. Like, I was getting my money on time. The envelope was full, was nothing short. But
Whoa, envelope. You was getting money in an envelope.
In the envelope.
One of those yellow envelopes like gangsters, like gangsters get. Is that how you was getting paid? That's not legal, man.
Yeah, so we was getting paid in the envelope, basically. But this was the last one that I got. The last payment I got was in an envelope. But most of the things they did was through the bank. But I was only there for a few months with that first team. So basically, the coach we had 7 Americans. That league was tough. 7 Americans, 7 foreigners, and he didn't know what he was doing. So they dismantled the whole team. The one that really was bad was I'm not going to say his name because he's a good guy.
No, don't go in there. Don't break bridges.
Right. He's a great guy. Like, I love him, but I played in Cluj. Cluj-Napoca is a big city in Romania, and they already have a basketball team there. But they ended up having a second team there. And we didn't have a big enough budget for the whole year, but I only found out in November, December. But I respect the situation because it was told directly to me face to face, but after the fact. So there's a lot of different situations that can happen, you know what I mean, when it comes to coming out here, getting paid on time, even if the team has the money for the whole season. Right.
And when you were a rookie, did you know anything about, as far as when you get injured, was there a clause in there about how long you would be injured? If you were injured a certain amount of time, what would happen, or when you would get sent home, or what that whole situation would be like? Do you remember how that was?
Yeah, I mean, every contract that I had, it was always a clause in there about getting injured, depending on the team, how much money they have, and availability to the players. Right. They'll give you 2 weeks, 2 months, half a year. It really depends on you as a player, honestly, and the injury that you get. If they feel like you're the kind of person and player that they can do something with for a longer period of time, then they'll invest in you. Right. But if they feel like it's not worth, it's always a business decision. Right. This is what players. It's always a business decision. It's really seldom that it becomes personal, but sometimes they make it personal, but it's usually business, like if them keeping you there is going to cost them more money, it's not, it doesn't make sense. But if them keeping you there is keeping a sponsor there that you don't even know about, and you just getting a little bit of money, but they getting 50 G's on top because that sponsor likes you, then they'll keep you.
Yeah. Okay, I got one more question for you because we're actually over time, but I don't care. Is there anything that you wish you knew about contract stuff, European contract situations when you were still in college? Was there anything you wish you would have known before you came over?
I mean, there's a lot of things that I wish I would have known, but honestly,
you should have had this.
Right? Honestly, just reading the book, it's like the things that you're going through is giving you a step-by-step awareness of how your contract should look. Me personally, I had no idea what a contract should look like when it comes to the basketball thing. So that's what the agent had to educate me on. And also through the time when you see, okay, there's certain things that have to be in there. So every team tried to do it professionally, but it always comes down to the person that's actually there in the driver's seat. They know in their country what laws they can break and how they can break them. You coming into that team, you have no idea. Even if I go and try to find a lawyer, I'm gonna have to drop a lot of money. Like, that's the next thing with FIBA. They had only big claims, so you had to lose a certain amount of money. I think I think it was up until like 2016, maybe they changed it, something like this. A little while ago, they just changed it. You know what I mean? So these teams know that if they feel like they don't like you, bye-bye. They'll just, in Romania too, a lot of countries, in Greece, they'll just send you home or say, we're not paying you. There's a lot of different things. So I think players have to try their best to reach out to people who already played there.
Right.
Get your book, honestly, because there's not too many people that want to put the time in just to educate people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
I really think it's important for players to have that sense of security, because that takes away a little bit of the anxiety that you have just from the situation alone.
Right. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So now we're going to go into overtime.
Yes.
So I got I got about 14, 15 questions for you. To put you on the spot a little bit. Name your all-time NBA starting five.
Ooh.
Come on, you got to knock them off. You got to knock them off.
Mike, Shaq, LeBron.
Okay. Two more. Position, it doesn't matter.
Curry. And I'm going to have to go with,
you only got one big?
I only need, I'm going to have to go with, man, that's a tough one. Kevin Garnett.
Okay, that's a good one. Your favorite country to play in as a pro?
Ooh. Well, oh, man. Well, actually, structure-wise, Germany, the structure is good, but talent-wise, I had a great time playing in Romania, because I played against a lot of old NBA players, you know, guys that I actually also played against at the high level. I played against in Romania.
Okay. Best thing about being a professional?
The best thing about being a professional is the freedom to explore the world and to learn yourself, you know, to grow as a person, to make some mistakes, and to see how you can be better the next day.
The worst thing about being a professional?
You're going to have some really down days, and you got to bring yourself out of it. I mean, the same way you motivate yourself on the court is the same way it's going to be as a professional, dealing with certain people, not saying certain things out of your mouth that you might want to say, that you can say around your friends, that you can't say in a certain setting. You know, I would say that would be the toughest thing, because there's a lot of things I would love to say to some people, you know, because they just don't realize how deep this game is loved by a lot of us.
Yeah. Okay. What was your welcome to Europe basketball moment where you were like, damn, I am not in Kansas anymore?
I honestly, I don't think I had that. I think it was more off the court, because on the court, off the court, it didn't matter who I played against. Nobody could say that they killed me, whether my team wasn't so great or what. I always played hard and performed statistic-wise. So when it came to that, I would say off the court, the kind of thing that happened off the court was crazy.
I know you, so I know some of those stories. So we're gonna jump right past all that. Courtside seats, Ewing's Knicks teams or the current Nets team? Courtside seats. Who you watching?
Ewing's Knicks team.
Okay.
Oof.
All right. Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron.
Jordan or Kobe?
Jordan.
Favorite European city?
Ooh. Prague.
Prague? Okay. Your most memorable pro moment?
My most memorable pro moment. Damn. If I got one.
You got to have one.
I mean, as
long as you've been over here.
Yeah, I mean, my most memorable moments is when I see the kids actually coming to the games.
No. As a pro. So
you mean like playing?
Playing.
Like,
your most memorable pro moment. Yeah. When you were a pro.
Well, I mean, probably when I had 45 in a triple-double and keeping my team out of falling out of the league, I would say that was my biggest pro moment against my friend who had 50.
So y'all guard each other or what?
No, that's the reason.
Ole.
So yeah, that was a fun game to play. You know, it was a lot of talent in that game. We had a young guy named Yamin Coleman out of Alabama. We had some young talent. It was really nice. That was fun. Definitely.
All right. Tell me one game day superstition.
Ooh. I used to do things like not cut my nails to a certain length so that when I shoot, I could make sure that my release was at a certain position, a certain point,
What your nails got to do with your release point?
Woo! You really? If the ball is rolling right off the end of my fingers, I'm hearing this every time, and that's when I
Okay.
know. So
Okay.
that's something I use sometimes when I feel like my shot is getting off or I'm losing my rhythm.
Okay. Text or FaceTime?
Text.
I know you're a health nut, so what's your guilty pleasure food wise?
Ah man, I got a sweet tooth, and I'm getting big into baking now. So I love them cakes and them cookies. Oof.
Okay. How do you beat homesickness?
Homesickness?
Hmm?
Go home.
I'm talking about during the season, man. You guys gotta know what to do during the season.
You basically just got to try to do the things that make you feel right. Try to find the environment where you're at that reminds you of home. I've always realized that there are people out here that really remind me of myself and other people from home. So I would say just to venture out into the environment that you're in and try to recognize some familiar faces and energy.
Okay. EuroLeague or NBA?
As of now, or just period?
Right now, today,
EuroLeague.
whatever.
EuroLeague.
Thank you. Last one. What's one thing you wish you could tell yourself as a college senior before coming over? Looking back on your career, what's one thing you wish you could tell yourself?
Leave them girls alone. Hey, if I wasn't playing, man, I was partying, or you know what I mean. So honestly, that was something I think a lot of players get distracted. I worked on my body. I was in the gym, but if I wasn't playing, I was partying and trying to find my next love.
Levi, you are a trip, man. You are a trip. So yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. You got me on that one.
Facts, though. Facts.
I probably should have told myself that as well. Okay, so you hit the shot at the buzzer, man. That's it for the questions. Thanks again, man, for coming on and being a part of my little live broadcast. It was a pleasure to have you on, and I wish you continued success, my brother. And I know we'll be in contact and everything like that. And to everybody else, all the rest of my teammates out there, thank you a lot for paying attention, coming online and viewing this special episode with a lot of laughs. And just like always, if there is anything that you've seen that you particularly like or you would like to pass on to someone else, please do save or post it, repost it, whatever you want to do. My biggest thing is that this information needs to be out there for everybody to see, and the more people that do it, the better for the men and women that decide to come over here to play ball. And that's my biggest focus on anything that has to do with this book. So as usual, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Next week, we'll be having part 2 of the standard European contracts. We'll have a really exciting guest. I'm looking forward to make sure as I do each week. So I'll post the date and time probably on Monday, and then I hope to see everybody on Friday just the same as tonight. And hopefully a couple more people tune in. All right. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Old head out. Thanks, Levi.